What's up, man? I fell asleep on the game, but I saw the very end.
Oh man, bro, you gotta rewatch this. This is a must rewatch.
Hey, I've been telling y'all, man. Remember, he played at UT, man. Hey, yes, go watch his highlights. He transferred in last year, took over the team. I mean, was a first team All American. Like, he's a 3-level scorer, man. He's ready. I don't know about trading D'Lo yet because that's a lot of pressure to put on a rookie. But I'd say by the trade deadline, something's going to happen, yeah.
I feel it too, man. And the reason I just don't want D'Lo on this team because he's already proven to us back-to-back playoffs that he doesn't have the it factor to take that to the next level where we need him. But Dalton, let's talk about Dalton.
Yes, sir.
I didn't see him play in college because I didn't think we are going to have even potentially keep our draft pick. Usually when the Lakers don't have draft picks, I don't scout players in college. So I thought maybe, I thought the Pelicans were going to try to keep the pick. They deferred it to us, man. So this was a blessing from up above. You watched him play in college. How good do you think, Travis, he can be in his rookie season?
I thought he was the best player in college basketball last year. He got downgraded because he was a little older. But, everybody finds their groove a little different. Look at Kuzma. So I think it's actually better to draft an older player because they're more NBA ready. Like, you see Bronny, you see JHS. Like, they don't look like they have NBA bodies. Even if they could score, which they can't, their bodies aren't ready yet. Like, you could tell Knect is not somebody you want to stand in front of. Like,
yeah. No, for sure. And I agree with you, which is why I was so disappointed last year we didn't draft Jaime Jaquez or, somebody who's more NBA ready. I think it was really puzzling to see that we went with Jalen Hood-Schifino instead of somebody who was ready. But this year, we corrected our mistake from last year, right? And
I cannot think of a better coach than JJ for Dalton. Like, because, that's all JJ did was, come off screens and pop a three or, he's just going to set them up so good. I just think it's going to be awesome.
If you realize everybody on the team offensively has had the green light, and that on nights when we're firing like tonight is going to vote well because we have 128 points without LeBron James. That's saying a lot, right? That says that this team has a lot of scoring capabilities on the roster, right? Do you agree with that? I see them all really just pulling up comfortably without.
Yeah, I would really throw out that Vegas game. I think they were partying, hanging out. They've been to Vegas so much. Like, they're, LeBron's pretty much going to have a team there one day probably. Like, it was just a big party. Like, I don't take that game. Every other game they have looked totally locked in, competitive. Like,
yeah.
So, and the Warriors, they just move the ball so much. Like, it's just hard to guard them. Like, they make average 3-point shooters look like Steph Curry. Like, it's crazy.
Absolutely, man. And we get another crack at him tomorrow. No LeBron James again. If you're JJ Redick, man, would you consider starting Dalton Knect just to see what he can do with the starters, or do you keep him where he's at because he's already kind of catching a groove with the bench unit?
Did he take Rui's spot tonight?
No, he came off the bench. Cam Reddish took Rui's spot tonight.
It depends on who's playing, but yeah, I mean, I would consider it, but I wouldn't bench D'Lo if he's healthy, just because I don't want to create headlines and drama before the first game. But yeah, definitely, if not, start him, play him a hell of a lot.
I try to, I throw him out here to see what he can do with Austin Reeves, man. I think those two would have a lot of fun playing, out there in the perimeter. They could both, stroke the ball extremely well. And they both give good effort on the defensive end. I don't know if you guys have realized this, but Austin Reeves defensively this year has looked a lot better. He's looking better. I know it's early. It's only preseason, but he looks great. What do you think about defense?
Yeah, and Knect's bigger than him, actually. That was my worry is they're going to start saying we don't need Reeves no more. I'm like, but Reeves is really a point guard. Like,
they're different players for sure. Because Austin is really going to get a chance to shine. Remember, he was my pick in the offseason for who's going to really improve the most under JJ. Because we know what Anthony Davis is when he has a green light. We know what LeBron is. But I think the third best player on this team is Austin Reeves right now as we speak. Because he can do multiple things. He can play make, he can score, he can take over games late in the stretch. We've seen it throughout his career. Now, the reason I would consider throwing Dalton out there as well is because now you got two real threats out in the perimeter. It makes it really hard to double team either AD or LeBron, because you have two legit threats who can get hot at any moment. How you feel about that?
Well, here's a kind of a side question. Do you think we actually play better D when LeBron's not there?
Yes, because obviously he's older, but we don't play better offense. Here's the thing.
No.
LeBron James, he generates a cool 8 to 10 assists a night by himself. So you subtract that from the team, we're going to suffer. But I was really impressed with the team's ability to score 128 without him tonight. And I think it's going to help take pressure off of LeBron James, the fact that we got guys who can get buckets. Like Dalton.
Well, as much as I think, we got to figure out D'Lo, I feel like we've got Cam Reddish, we've got, oh my God, my brain's like Gabe Vincent, JHS. We got 3 deadweight players on our roster that are not even NBA playable. And we got Christian Wood, and that's another thing I wanted to ask you. What was the deal with Christian Wood and Vando? Because the last game of the playoffs last year, they were supposedly ready to go, and then come this season, they're still not ready for the start of the regular season. Like I feel like they were either lying last year or,
Vando had an extra surgery this offseason. So he had 2 foot surgeries in total.
Okay.
He had another one. With him, I think, according to JJ, they're being precautious before they bring him back. He probably could have started the season, but they're going to give him an extra 2 weeks just to kind of, ease him back into things since he's been out for so long. With Christian Wood, he also had another knee procedure this summer because the one he had last year around the trade deadline didn't really pan out that well for him.
So, and he had that drama with his old lady.
Yeah. So, hopefully they get it right. We will see, man, but it's going to be a fun season. You can feel it, Travis. It's under this coaching staff, this team actually believes, man. And this coaching staff is also empowering the young players. I knew having guys like Scott Brooks and Nate McMillan, who have historically developed a lot of young talent, is going to help guys like Dalton Knect, because they're going to feel, and then on top of that, you got a coach like JJ greenlighting everything. That's great. I see these guys are able to come up and pull up with no hesitation, knowing that they're not going to ride the pine for making a mistake or taking a bad shot, but they're going to be able to learn on the fly. It's going to help them.
Well, I just think like those 3 guys I mentioned, like if you had Dwight Howard taking one of those spots, that'd be fine with me. Like you still got to take a 2nd round pick and get rid of that dead weight, and then we can figure out D'Lo closer to the trade deadline. If you can throw D'Lo in, but I don't want to get rid of D'Lo just to get rid of him. Because he is a solid NBA player when he wants. I remember last year when he played the Bucks, literally he won the game for us. Now, definitely in the regular season, he's fine.
Yep, absolutely. I agree, my man. Hey, thank you so much for the phone call, man. I look forward to more calls from you this season, brother.
Yes, sir, man. When's the first game, real quick?
October 22nd on Tuesday.
All right, man.
Yeah, all right, brother.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. My guy Travis, man, very knowledgeable, very exciting. Go show love to his YouTube channel. The link was up there on the screen if you guys definitely want to go tap in with him as well. All right, let's bring in my guy.